Paradise, President of the Houston East End Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to our COVID-19 business webinar. We are so honored to have Alex Sandoval, who is the Business Development and Assistant Office of Metro. And Metro, in case you don't know, stands for Metropolitan Transit Authorities, and he's with the Procurement and Materials Department. So thank you, Alex, for joining us today.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Francis.
So excited. You're right. We talked earlier before we came on live, and we can't meet face to face for the most part. And so we're doing a lot of our meetings via Zoom, via other outlooks like this. So thanks for being here. This is also Texas of Commerce Chamber Week, and we want to make sure that we give our members opportunities to do business with other companies like Metro. And so thanks again. I hear that you have a video you want to show us. Would you like to walk us through it?
Yes. I'm going to share my screen now and show you like an introduction to Metro and what we're all about. This is a project that we just concluded in the Galleria area. And the reason why I wanted to show it to you is because as you see the pictures and you see the feedback that we've been getting, you could also see the opportunities that relate to projects with, in this particular case, the bus rapid transit. As you can see, there's a lot of opportunities to do concrete work, sidewalk work, lighting, landscaping, painting, and other opportunities that would be related to a work. This is also an example of the opportunities that are coming up through Metro Next. We're going to be using similar services like this in connection with the airports. So you're going to have designated lanes going from bus transit centers, and this bus rapid transit almost reflects a light rail because it's in a designated lane, and it would take us to the airports and other areas. So Francis, this is just kind of like an introduction of a quick project that we just finished.
Well, we're excited to have that here in Houston. Tell it what's coming to the East End as far as new projects.
Right. So, you know, as you made the introduction, right now, we don't have the capabilities to be able to meet one-on-one with vendors that are looking to do business with Metro. And one of my roles is to be able to designate how you fit within our program. So this presentation today is going to be very similar to that. Typically, we would meet at our office, and then I'll learn about your business services and then determine how best you could work with us. But since we can't do that, we're just doing this virtually. And I wanted to show information that you can actually find on our website. So as we prepare for this presentation, a lot of those links are already posted on the chat. So if you have any questions after the presentation, you have my contact information, and then we can go from there. But right now, I wanted to show you something that's very important and critical to vendors that are looking to do business with Metro. And one of the things that's important is to become familiar with what that agency is buying and how you can connect and put yourself in front of us so that we can be able to guide you and provide you the tools so that you can get to that point. So the first thing is we just started our fiscal year. It began October 1st, and I wanted to show you our 2021 budget. We actually put that online, and this booklet here represents what Metro will be buying in the next year. So
this can be found in the chat room. There's a link down there for business plan. It is 41 pages, a lot of great information. So thanks for sharing that link with us.
Sure. It's actually 200 and something pages, but the opportunities that relate to, you know, this budget is that many folks that are looking to do business with agencies, they really want to know how much we spend in certain areas. So starting on page 72 of our business plan and budget, you'll find the designated projects that we're going to be working on and what we're going to be buying. So there's about 42 pages of different projects that have been broken down that have a designated budget for those particular projects. So there's a lot of information that you can find within this budget and business plan. So I wanted to bring it to your attention so that you guys can begin to research what we're looking to buy in the future. The next thing I want to show you on our website, and it's something that we also posted, is how to find opportunities. Many times, having an understanding and how to navigate our website is critical because, and so therefore I wanted to show you that you go to ridemetro.org and you come down to the bottom where it says business with Metro, and you're going to find the procurement and materials. This is another link that we've also shared in the chat room so that you could see directly what Metro is currently buying. And this gives you an example of what we're buying. And then if you're interested, for example, if you are in the engineering services, we have a opportunity for architect and engineering professional services, and we would click on the solicitation number to find out details about what this opportunity relates to.
And Alex, is there also an email distribution list that some of our members can be added to, or do you have to register with Metro to get that information?
Yes, that's a really good question. Here on that same link that we share, we have a new supplier account registration. So there's actually two databases that your vendors can participate. One is directly related to opportunities at Metro. This, again, anyone can play and register in different industry codes that we alert you to. And then, you will receive notifications directly related to those industry codes once you register as a vendor.
Good. Thank you for that.
And so on this solicitation, as you can see at the bottom, one of the important things is that you have our buyer, Nancy Christofferson is our buyer that typically buys professional services for Metro. So many times when a solicitation is already published, the only person that can answer questions relating to that solicitation would be our buyer. So her information and email is here. It also lets you know that there's a 35% small business goal, and most professional services, construction, and other opportunities will have a 35% small business goal because we have the capacity to be able to assign that type of goal. And, which makes it important for firms that are small business to then register on a separate database and become certified with Metro. Because many times there's opportunities that you may be able to bid on, but you may not be the prime. So this allows you to work with us under a prime if you've never done work with a public institution. So this is why this goal is critical and important for your members.
And I've got two questions I want to ask you before we go to the next one. And then also, Mrs. Johnson had a question here. She can't see anything in the chat. If you go to not the Q&A, but the chat right next to it and click on that and let me know if you see anything. If not, send back in the Q&A section your email address and we'll be happy to email those to you. But there's two separate boxes down below, a Q&A and a chat box. One question, Alex, we have here is, would the buyer be the best person for the first-time bidder to get help with maneuvering all of the forms and requirements?
No, that's a good question. Once you have a solicitation that's published, you really have to become familiar with Metro's documents and paperwork. Usually, you're looking at about 100 pages worth. That's what a typical solicitation. It has the instructions. It has all the information that a vendor would need to be able to respond to it. So By that time, once it hits the streets, you really have to be already familiar and with the forms. If you're going to be bidding as a subcontractor, you take away all that reading and that response paperwork that you would have to put together, because you would be working directly with a prime contractor and you would be submitting to them specifics on the scope of work that you want to bid on and also the pricing. So it's still important as a subcontractor to understand. And that's why I wanted to, share with you that solicitation, because there's a section that shows scope of work. So if you're a subcontractor, you want to become familiar with those sections. Each solicitation that we publish has a scope of work, and then you can determine the specifics of your services as it relates to the solicitation. And that's how you can reach out to some of our prime contractors that are bidding work.
Good. Here's another great question, and I think you have a great answer for this one. Are there classes that Metro offers to walk small businesses through the process?
Yes, that's another great question. We actually, since there's a lot to learn as you work with the public sector, we have put together a workshops. Now, because we're going virtual, we used to do once a month, in person. But now we're actually doing 2 or 3 a month. And the curriculum that we've chosen is to be able to actually show you how to work with Metro and hit all those bases, the understanding of a solicitation, the responding, and the understanding of our website and how to do research. So on previous contracts. So yes, we offer that. And we also posted that link on the chat room.
Great. If you want to show us on your screen anything about that, you're more than welcome to.
Sure. Let me go ahead and move to that now. Currently, we have, share that with you. If we go down, you're going to see the small business program under Business with Metro. And if we click on that, you'll understand why this small business program is critical to the contract opportunities. And basically, in order to be able to participate as in the small business program, you have to be certified with Metro. And currently we have about 2,000 vendors that have been certified as a small business. One of the critical things to know is that you don't have, we have a race and gender neutral program. As long as you're a small business, you can actually apply with Metro. So we're a little bit different than other organizations. Once you become certified with Metro, we have 4 other entities that accept Metro certification, like Houston Community College, Houston First Corporation, the Port of Houston, and also Fort Bend ISD. They all accept Metro certification, and you can participate in their small business program. And then as I go down, I want to show you the training events that we have. And we haven't updated our website yet with the 2021 calendar. But if you look at it, we start the year with how to do business with Metro. Many times, many folks just want to have a basic understanding how to work with Metro. And then we bring speakers that can show us how to price your proposal. And as you can see, the topics of the training that we offer really relate to holding your hand and having a deeper understanding in how to work with a public agency. And as you gather and participate on these workshops, you could take the same knowledge and understanding to other agencies, because we work very similar. And the process is very similar too.
Great. And before we go continue talking, I had another question here is, someone is certified with Metro and they have been, for 3 years. How would they connect with primes? I think you mentioned it, but can you remind us, how can a business connect with primes so that they can successfully bid on a project? And what's the best way for them to, as a low voltage electrical company, find the right prime and contact person?
Okay, that's another really good question. On our website, I'm gonna go back to our procurement and materials link, I want to show you that there's a lot of information. One of the things is that we show who we're doing, what we buy, and who we're doing business with. So, for example, I wanted to show you here bus cleaning, and it could be different things, but on this website here, you're able to see what we buy and also who we're buying it from. So to answer that question, we show the company name, we show the buyer that relates to the Metro's buyer, and the company that we're buying these types of services. So we're very transparent when it comes to the contracts that we're awarding and who we are awarding those contracts to. And that's basically the prime. So if you're a small business, you can come to our website and look at the opportunities and also determine the prime contractor. So there's a lot of research that you can do based on the industry code. And then if you want to dig a little deeper, we actually can show you based on who's bidding the work. So again, if we want to choose here Leland Bike Lane Construction Project, if we click on the bid tabulation, we are showing you here who the prime contractor and who was the lowest bidder. So you basically have, if you're in construction, if you're doing concrete, landscaping, and so forth, you have 4 prime contractors that you can reach out to that are working with Metro, and you can begin to market to them, your services. So if this relates to bike lanes, and we're buying different things to be able to provide that service. So now you not only know who's bidding the work, but you also know their pricing. So this is an opportunity for you to be able to reach out to our prime contractors.
And I live on near Leland, so I see the construction happening right now, and we're grateful for the bike lanes that are coming. And this is very helpful. I did not know how easy it was to find out who are some of the primes in these businesses and how you can connect with them. So hopefully that is very helpful to everybody on here, specifically for the business that you're in.
Okay, very good. Another thing I wanted to show you that's also found in our procurement link is what we're looking to buy. What is Metro, what's the look ahead in terms of opportunities? Like if you already missed the current opportunities because you weren't aware of them, we also post what we're going to be buying in the next month and then the next quarter. So if the looking at our budget becomes too daunting, there's just too many pages to consider and read, you can just come to our website and look at our anticipated bids, and you can see what we're buying as we move forward towards the future.
So high impact acrylic domes for passenger shelters. That's, I'm not sure what that looks like, but I'm sure it's something very good.
Right. Actually, we're going to be enhancing our bus stops. We're going to be creating what we call floating bus stops, where there's a bike lane and the bike lane goes behind the bus stop. So some of these new shelters, that we're going to be purchasing, it's part of the opportunities. And as you can see, we're also going to be buying services that relate to lab services for drug and alcohol. So that's like a 2-year contract opportunity where we have an inside lab. Like if you're looking to work with Metro as an employee, you got to pass a drug test. And then if we have accidents out on the road, then, this lab goes out to make, to verify that our drivers or, they actually do a test on them as well. So these are opportunities, and it's updated every Monday. So if you are registered as a vendor, you will receive updates on current opportunities, and then you will come to our website to find out what we're looking to purchase in the future.
Wow. Alex, you guys are up to date. And every Monday you can come check out the website and see what's going on. If you haven't, if you get emails, would you get that same information?
Yes, some of your viewers today can email me, and I could actually email them all the links all in one email so that they can have access to them. Those emails will have links to, the vendor registration, small business certification, and all the links that you see here. So then that way they could have it as a resource uh, for the future. And then you'll have my information where they can reach out to me, and then I can answer any other questions that they may have.
And I know we've added all this information on the Facebook Live, but everyone, if you have a pen, just write down jorge.sandoval at ridemetro.org, JORGE .sandoval at ridemetro.org, and you can get all of this amazing information. I am so grateful to you, Alex, because you've spoken to our chamber almost every year about procurement, and every year I learn something new. You're very passionate about what you do, and you're really there to help people. I've heard, one of our last procurement events that this one individual business owner has been trying to get a meeting, one-on-one meeting with Metro. And, sometimes it's hard to navigate through the website, et cetera, but he met you and he already set a meeting. So you're very personable, you're passionate, and you're here to help. So I hope that everyone that's watching and listening takes him up on that offer, because he is an awesome individual to help you navigate. So I thought I'd toot your horn a little bit there.
Yeah, thank you, Francis. I appreciate that. I think that's something that shows, and it's because of the team members that we have. The procurement team, we're actually all on the same floor. So if there's a particular need, when we conduct business and face to face, I would be able to be having a one-on-one with the vendor and then pull the buyer. If I feel that they're ready to have that discussion and make a presentation directly to the buyer, I go ahead and bring them on. And sometimes they're so kind that even if you just want to have a practice approach, how am I doing? How am I coming across as a vendor? That's something that I could offer as well. A practice run and how to speak to a buyer. And that's the kind of access you have with Metro during normal times, to be able to come out to our office and be able to make presentations. Another thing that I do as part of my role is to help you prepare how to speak to a buyer. And, you're not going to find that in many agencies where they're offering you a PowerPoint presentation that talks about the talking points that a vendor needs to understand and have already in mind. Sometimes when you're out there networking, you may have 30 seconds to talk about what you do. Sometimes you may have 3 minutes, and sometimes you may have a formal presentation about your services and how your company can work with Metro. So again, that PowerPoint presentation is something that I give out to those that become registered with us, get certified, and then we have a one-on-one. So there are basic steps that the listeners need to take before we get to that point, because there's certain criteria that you must meet, and then we can have that discussion, and then we'll move to the next step and provide you with the PowerPoint outlining the talking points that you would need to have in order to talk to a buyer.
So a lesson here, if you're not certified with Metro, start doing it today, get certified, because one, you'll have Alex on your site, and then two, you'll be able to bid on projects that are at the port and other organizations, so you don't have to get recertified at different organizations. We appreciate that from you. But I've got a couple of great questions here.
Sure.
At one of our events, someone heard you mention that Metro has procurement opportunities for office supplies and project management. What are some other things that Metro might need that we might not, realize? It's the gamut that you guys buy.
Right. So when you refer to office supplies, right now we actually have a contract with Tejas Office Products, and on those websites that I showed you, where we have awards, you're going to find our latest office supply. And then you could also look at the bid tabulation. So you could look at who else was bidding and the pricing that they had. But, you know, we buy coffee. We have specific contracts that relate to office supplies like coffee, like napkins, like paper, and so forth. So, you know, we also, when we go out to the community, we have marketing, you know, materials that we give away, you know, like pins, bags, and so forth. So we also have in each of the departments at Metro, where we buy, you know, merchandise to be able to give away to in our work in our networking events. So again, that also relates to office supplies. And but you know, you got to become familiar with the needs that we have, with the budgets that we have that relates to promotional products and so forth. So and that you can find on our website. Now, on the promotional side, you know, you again, under normal circumstances, we will bring you and introduce you to our various departments. We've done that for catering services. You know, each of the departments, for example, may have workshops, and that's what we do. You know, back in the day, we would offer you breakfast, teach you how to work with Metro, and we would have vendors that would come in and provide us with uh, their delicious food. We also had workshops where you take the whole day. Like we offer a free OSHA 30. Those that are in construction, you know, we know that safety is very critical and important. So we offer workshops that require catering for the entire day. So again, it's a little bit related to office supplies, but you know, it touches on other industries, um, you know, that may hit that.
Good. I've got another question from Ivor here is, if a vendor currently has submitted a bid, can they still talk with you, or does the blackout still apply and only the buyer can be contacted?
Well, once a bid has been submitted and the award has been made, um, the bidders have an extra opportunity to be able to have a debriefing. And in this debriefing, they're able to know where, you know, where were they in their matrix as we, a committee, reviewed the opportunity, the solicitation response that we received. They can get valuable information because you will have a chance to talk directly to the buyer. And really, this opportunity not only lets you know where there might have been some gaps, but also it's an opportunity to talk to the buyer that's going to be buying that same service in the future. And, you know, it begins to create that relationship with them. So for those that do submit bids and responses to Metro, that's a huge advantage that you have to be able to request a debriefing.
Here's another great question. Do you have any tips or programs or training out there that help subs become primes, or have you heard of subs becoming primes?
That's another great question. You know, one of the reasons you would do work with the public sector, and the reason why we have programs, small business programs, minority programs, is to be able to build capacity. There's a role that we play in regards to that. You know, you began to understand. Obviously, you've had to have some experience in the past doing work in the private sector before you come to the public sector. But the intent is to, you know, once you're awarded a contract that's going to be a year, 2, 3, 5 years, it gives you the opportunity to hire adequate staff, you know, and be able to grow your business, because now you have staff that you didn't have before that allows you to present yourself with more capabilities. So that's one way that you can use public sector projects, is to be able to increase your capacity, increase your opportunities as you began to not only bid with other public areas, but also in the private sector.
Great. Well, we don't have any more questions for you, but in closing, Alex, and again, you're a wealth of knowledge. Please, everyone out there, reach out to him. He's an awesome person to know, and you will learn a lot from every conversation that you have with him. Any closing remarks, Alex? I know this is COVID. You guys, Metro is still open, still doing construction. Any words of encouragement for businesses that are rebounding right now after this and wanting to do business with you guys?
Yeah, for us, it's kind of business as usual. The purchasing process continues to move forward. So I encourage you guys to be patient. When you work with the public sector, it's really like a long-term relationship, that you're going to begin to establish. So, but a lot of the folks that we've encouraged that we walk with them, have been successful. So if you have that patience, if you're able to sit on the webinars and learn how to work with us, you're really expanding your opportunities, not only with Metro, but also with other public sector areas. And we're here to help. We have these one-on-ones where we really look deeper into how to position your business, not only with us, but also with other entities. And we're happy to do it. So we have adequate staff at Metro. The team that we have is excellent, in all areas, and that's why it allows myself and my partner in crime, Sharonda, to have access to us, and then the buyers understand the role that we play, and they're there to help as well. So you can contact us. And if you have any other questions, if you need some hand holding, we're here to help.
And Sharonda is another awesome person there. So please, if you can't get a hold of Alex, make sure you reach out to her as well. So thank you so much, Alex, for joining us today. Everyone, I highly encourage you to get certified if you're not already. And if you are certified, make sure you reach out to Alex before the end of the year so that you can get some tips and services to get 2021 off on a great start. We're going to end our program now. I just want to remind everybody that this is Texas Chamber of Commerce Week. And tonight at Ben's Den, we're having a happy hour. It's only open to 40 people so that we can have social distancing. So if you're not doing anything tonight from 4 to 6, go to our Facebook or our website and register and join us. The first beer is on us. So thank you again, Alex, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.